Let us start with a new topic, artificial neural networks. Artificial neural networks is used in applications such as handwritten recognition, learning to recognize spoken words, learning to recognize faces, and still more applications. Artificial neural network actually has been inspired from the biological learning system, that is brain. So we already know that the brain has a interconnected set of neurons. Actually, these neurons are the processing units. Let us take an example here. For example, our eyes, nose, skins are the sensors of a body, which actually provides an input to the neurons of the brain. And these neurons are the one which processes and sends the output. Let us take an example. Suppose if a hand, if we place on a hot water, what happens? Since our skin is a sensor, it takes the input and sends that input to the neurons of the brain. The neurons immediately process it and sends an output. What output it will say? Please take away your hand from the hot water, otherwise it will burn. That is, our skin, nose, eyes are nothing but the sensors which sends the data, that is the input, to the neurons. And these neurons in the brain process the information and sends the output. This is a way how it will actually naturally works. Can we build the same functionality in artificial way? Yes, this is possible. This functionality, if we try to achieve artificially, then it is known as artificial neural network. So here, these are the set of inputs, that is your hand, nose, skin, are nothing but the sets of input that we give to the neurons. The neurons are the one which processes and provides an output. The summation symbol. What is the summation symbol? It takes the sum of all the inputs. Okay. And then it provides this summation of all these inputs will be provided to the activation function. F is an activation function. Activation function is the one which actually performs or defines an output based on the input. So here it collects the input and provides an activation function. It performs the action and provides the output. So here, if you go in detail, now, so here our brain has, I told, it is having a neurons, a set of neurons. All these neurons are how they are connected? They are connected in the form of a network, and they exchange the information from one neuron to the another neuron. Here, what is the functionality of the brain is, that is the neurons in the brain is based upon the experience. It starts learning. A learning system is done. A learning system is adopted based upon the data it receives. That is based upon the experience. It starts learning. Okay. Suppose for example, if I see a face of a person, X person, his name is Johnny. Next time, if I see the same person, I will say he is a Johnny, because based upon the experience, based upon the data, the neurons has learned that that particular person is a Johnny. That is, a learning system is adopted. A learning system is done in the neurons of the brain. So that same functionality we try to incorporate. We try to incorporate in the learning algorithm in the system. That is, this learning algorithm is adopted. The same functionality is adopted in the artificial neural networks. So neural networks, that is the neurons are all connected. So we call it as a network. Artificial means the same functionality we are incorporating. So we call it as artificial neural network. So let us go to the one step ahead. So what happens in traditional approach? In traditional approach, we are having a set of algorithms. So how we are getting an output? That is based upon the some set of instructions. and we know the clear instructions and the steps to solve the problem. If I want to solve the problem, I know some clear instruction to solve the problem. To solve the problem, suppose if the instructions are not known, clearly, so then I have to choose and I have to go to a neural networks. Neural networks use a solution which was introduced since traditional approach cannot solve the problem. In traditional approach, if we know the set of instructions, clear instruction to solve the problem, then we can go to the traditional algorithm. The algorithms can be written and we get the solution to the problem. But what happens if the clear instructions are not known to solve the problem? Then we can go for neural networks. What happens in neural networks is it processes the similar way as the brain. So it starts learning from the examples, from the experience, and starts training all the network, neurons of the network. It starts training based upon the examples, based upon the experience. It starts learning. Never it is programmed. They cannot be programmed to perform a task. It is just based upon the experience. It starts learning and then provides an output. So this is called as artificial neural network. So next, so this artificial neuron is called as a perceptron. So there are two types of networks, layered networks, single layer network and multi-layer perceptron. Single layer perceptron and multi-layer perceptron. In single layer perceptron, we are having only an input layer and an output layer. But in case of multi-layer perceptron, we are even having hidden layers. So first we will see single layer perceptron. So what happens in single layer perceptron? So here let us take an example and go in detail. So in single layer perceptron, we are having only input layer and the output layer. So here let me take here an example. We are having two classes, fruit 1 and fruit 2, and for the fruits we have taken two features, weights and as well as length, the weight of the fruit and as well as length of the fruit. Already the data is given, two different fruits are there. So train the single layer perceptron model by using single layer perceptron model. We are training using the above information, that is parameters. Now we are having two classes already I have mapped here based upon the data 121 16.8 121 it's if the weight is 121, then it is 16.8. So this is one. Next 114 it is 15.2. Like this I've already mapped. So here by using the above parameters, what we can just generate a linear classifier which separates the class 1 and class 2, a decision boundary which separates class 1 and class 2. And how this classification method can be built by using the neural networks. So above model parameters, we can generate a linear classifier. How this is actually generated by using the neural networks, let us see next. So let us see how the training is been done. So we call it as perceptron training or single layer perceptron. One type of artificial neural network is based on a unit called perceptron. So we call it as a perceptron in one type. If it is one type of artificial neural network, is based upon a unit called perceptron, which is a perceptron. Here we call it as a perceptron takes a vector of real valid inputs, calculates a linear combination of these inputs and outputs. Means what? This perceptron, that is a neuron, takes a, these are x1, x2, x3 are nothing but the inputs. Take the all these inputs, performs the combinations. So if you can see here x0, I have written here as bias. What is this bias? It is an additional parameter, just an additional parameter which is used to adjust the output and helps the model to best fit the given data. So for that purpose we are using this additional bias. Take all the inputs, performs a combination of this input and apply an activation function. Apply an activation function which actually performs the action and produces the output. Let us see in detail what is this activation function with an example. So there are different types of activation functions we are having. okay, sigmoid function, ReLU function, okay, sine function. So let us see in different types of activation functions later, depend upon the examples. So here, now the bias already have given the input as +1. Okay, so we can fix the data input, that is +1 I have fixed here. And here you can observe in the figure, we are having W1, W2, W3. These are nothing but the weights. What are these weights? Weights are nothing but what is the contribution of these inputs? What is the percentage of contribution of these inputs to the output? How much it is contributing? Whether 20% or 30% or 40% or 50%, whatever it is there. How much contribution these inputs are providing to an output? That is nothing but the weights. So here this Vk, so is nothing but your multiplying x with each of its weights, that is each x input, how much weight it is contributing. So we are multiplying, plus you are taking the additional bias. Already told for what purpose the bias is used. Next, so different types of activation functions are there. One type of activation every function has written. If the after calculating, if you are getting the v value after doing this one, if you are getting v value is greater than 0, the output will be 1. Otherwise, it is 0. Similarly, if it is greater than 0, here I have taken it as 1. Otherwise, here it is taken as -1. With the examples we will do that, it will be clear for you. Now you take down the information about how the single layer perceptron executes. So thus, perceptron is the simplest form of neural network which is used, the single layer perceptron is used for classification of patterns which is said to be linearly separable. Sometimes single layer perceptron is just, we call it as a perceptron. So let us take an example. Before going to the example, let us take the steps. So this is a input. Okay, this is a bias. This is all inputs. These are all the weights. B of n is nothing but the bias. Y of n is an actual response. Okay, actual output what you got. This is D of n is a desired response. What is a desired response you are expecting? And n is the new, that is a learning rate, that is degree to which the weights has to be changed at each steps. So if you are not getting the desired response, you are changing the weights. Suppose x1 you are taking 20%. Next time if you are changing the weights, you are taking 30% of the x1. So the degree to which you are changing the weights at each step, that is in value. Next, initialization is you are initializing the weights and as well as the inputs. Next, activation. So activation, that is you are applying the input vector and getting the desired response. How you are getting the response? Let us see here. So here you are multiplying the weight and as well as your input. So just now here I told you are multiplying the weight and as well as input. Okay. Then you're after multiplying the weight and the input. So here after multiplying the weight and the input, so you are getting the summation. Next, immediately of the summation, you are having activation function. So here in the first step I told here in the initial part. So initial part I have told. So it is a summation and as well as activation function. Here also the same thing, summation and the activation function. So here, so after summation, that is after multiplying and then adding all together, you are applying an activation function, sine function here. If it is the value output is 0 greater than 0, then you are, it is +1. If it is less than 0, it is -1. Is the output, this is output. If it is greater than 0, it is +1, otherwise it is -1. Next, if you are not getting the desired output, your desired output is what? D of n. If you are not getting the desired output, then suppose your actual output is y of n, your desired output is d of n. If you are not getting the desired output, then what you are doing, you are updating the weights. So that is nothing but the previous weight, that is next is the learning rate, then subtract the d of n with the y of n, okay, and multiply with x of n. You are getting the new weight. Again start tree training. Again once the weights are changed, again go back here, multiplying the weight and the input, apply the sign function, activation function, see whether actual output and the desired output are same. No means again you are updating the weights. So one way to learn the acceptable weight vector is to begin with the random weights. Then iteratively apply the perceptron to each training example. Modify the weights whenever there is a misclassification. Whenever there is a misclassification, what should you do? You should start retraining. This process is repeated iteratively. Weights are modified at each step. Suppose if the desired response and actual response, if you subtract, if it is 0, then you have perfectly classified. Otherwise, you have to, there is no weight has to be updated if it is 0. Otherwise, you have to update the weights. Suppose the perceptron outputs -1, but your target or the desired one is +1. To make the output +1 instead of -1, then what you have to do? You have to change the weights. So increase the weight Wy will bring the perceptron closer to correct classifying this example. So you have to increase the weight. If d of n, your desired is what -1, actually is what +1, you have to decrease the weight. This is called as stochastic gradient descent. Okay. So you have to increase the weight. Suppose here your actual output is +1. Desired output is what? +1. Actual output is what? -1. Then you have to increase the weight. Otherwise, what you have to do? Decrease the weight. If for this. Actual is +1. Desired is what? -1. Then what you have to do? You have to decrease the weight. This is known as stochastic gradient descent. So here I will explain the example in the next video.